Hello and welcome back. So far we have understood how to build a model and then select the best model using learning curve. But for all the algorithms, the learning curve may not be suitable. So we have a tool called GridSet CV or a class called GridSet CV in scikit-learn, which actually helps us in selecting the best algorithm without doing a learning curve. So let us try to do that here and understand how it can be done. So I have imported all the modules here, necessary modules. And then imported the data, right, and then looked at the head, right, and then splitted the data into train test and performed the data pre-processing tasks which are from the previous classes, or in multiple linear regression we did some data pre-processing tasks, right. We copy pasted that code here and doing the same data pre-processing and splitted the data into X train and Y train. And now we are going to use the pipeline and GridSet CV to select the best model. Okay, we have seen learning curve approach. Now we are seeing the GridSet CV approach, and we are going to use GridSet CV a lot in industry. Okay, so in scikit-learn pipeline we have got pipeline class, and in model selection we have got GridSet CV. Generally speaking, pipeline is that if you want to speak generally about pipeline, the sequence of data pre-processing steps is called as pipeline. So this pipeline is also does the same thing. When we are building a model, right, especially while doing polynomial regression, we are actually transforming our data from a linear data set to polynomial data set and then passing it to the linear regression model. These are two steps in model building process. The first step is creating polynomial features and then passing that transformed data to linear regression. So those are two steps. In a pipeline, we can combine them, in a list of tuples. The list of tuples. First tuple is the first step, comma. Second tuple is a second step. These are variable names. Okay. Using these variable names, we can pass values to the hyperparameters at runtime. So for the polynomial features, the parameter is degrees, right? So if you pass 1, it is going to create linear data set. 2, second degree polynomial. 3, it's going to transform your data into fourth degree, like that. The polynomial features class will just do the transformation. Once the data is transformed, the pipeline will pass the data to the linear regression model, right? So to activate or actually to perform this activity, we need to take help from GridSet CV. To GridSet CV, you can pass either a algorithm or a pipeline, right? Generally, we pass a pipeline because we try to modularize the code and do it simple for train set, test set, and production. So I have passed the pipeline with two steps: polynomial features and the linear regression. For the polynomial features, we need to pass degree, right? The parameter. To pass degree, we'll use paramgrid, a dictionary of key value pairs. The key is going to be the parameter name underscore the method parameter. In the class parameter. The polynomial features has got degree as a parameter in there. To pass values to the polynomial features degree, we will say the variable name in the pipeline underscore the parameter name which is present in the polynomial features degree. So we are passing 4 values in a list. We can pass it as a list or a numpy array. We are passing it as a list. So the GridSet CV will take the pipeline and the paramgrid, and then what it does is it does CV also. We have seen cross validation. What is cross validation? The k-fold cross validation. The k-fold cross validation will split the data into 3 pieces and take the 2 pieces for testing and 1 piece for cross validation testing, right? Test the model. And again, it will make the data set into 3 pieces. In the second step, it is going to take the first 1/3 part and last 1/3 part and build a model, test it on the second 1/3 part. And the third step, it is going to again split the data into 3 pieces and take the first and second pieces and try to train the model, and then use that model to test it on the third piece. So this is called as a k-fold cross validation. Here k is 3, right? So when you say grid set CV and pass the pipeline and then the param grid and this cross validation, what happens is the pipeline will take one value from the param grid, and when you say fit, right, it is going to do the transformation, polynomial feature transformation with degree 1, and then pass the data to the linear regression and fit the model and do the cross validation. So what is happening here? When the 1 comes, right, it is going to build 3 models, right? First piece for cross validation, second 2 for training, first and last for cross training, and second for cross validation, first 2 for training and third one for cross validation. When it trains a model and does the cross validation, it will get 3 pairs of scores, right? Test and cross validation on the first split, and test and validation on the second, test and validation on third. It is going to take mean of the train and cross validation, train scores and the cross validation scores, and keep it aside. And when the 2 goes in, again it's going to build 3 models, right? First cross validation set, second 2 train set, scores, 2 scores, train score and cross validation score. Again the second set, right? The second set has the cross validation set, first and last as the train set. Again 2 scores, train score and cross validation. Third with the second degree polynomial. It takes 2, and the polynomial features convert your data set, whatever the X train you passed here, into a second degree polynomial and passes it to the linear regression, fits it, trains it, and captures the mean of the 3 sets. Okay, and again it takes 3 and does the same thing. Again 4, it does the same thing. In total it actually built 4 into 3, 12 models, out of which it actually extracted 4 pairs of scores. Train score on first degree polynomial, cross validation score on the first degree polynomial, train score on second degree polynomial and cross validation score on the second degree polynomial, train score on the third degree polynomial, cross validation on third degree polynomial, train score on fourth degree polynomial and cross validation on fourth degree polynomial. These are averages of those cross validation models. Out of all these 4 pairs, whichever is high and close to each other, right? Whichever is high and close to each other, the model will choose that hyperparameter as the best hyperparameter. So when I run this, right, it takes a while, right? It actually gave me the third degree as the best polynomial. And when you use gridset CV, the variable gets has got 2 attributes, best params and best estimator. You can directly use that best estimator to make prediction. That will actually take this particular, these steps, and if you look at the structure, right, it has got everything. It has got the polynomial features class to transform your, test set or train set or production. At the same time, take that output and pass it to the linear regression and make prediction. So if I say predict, right, it is going to apply polynomial features and then predict on the linear regression. So here I passed only X train. I did not transform the data using polynomial features and passed, because of the pipeline it is actually doing it for us. Okay, so the gridset CV dot best estimator has got everything, and when I did predict, I have got the predicted values, and then when I tested it, it has given me 98% accuracy. On the test set, we have applied all the transformations we have applied on the train set, and we used the understandings from the train set to impute values on the test set, because the understanding on the train set is going to be more, because data is high, the central tendencies are going to be better, right? When the data sample is high, the central tendencies are better. So we used those understandings and then imputed values here, and then tested it on test set. We have got 98% accuracy. That means the model is working good on the train set and test set. So the grid set CV and the pipeline are the concepts which helped us reduce lots of code and errors also. So once you start playing with this code, right, you will get used to it, and you can actually copy paste this code and use it also. Thank you.